Hello everyone, there's my hand. I'm Leandri and welcome to Leandri Crafts. Today it's time for everybody's favorite video of the month and my favorite as well. We're already on the 8th of November and I'm bringing you my colored pages for the month of October 2025. I know I'm late. I'm still trying to get through everybody's videos for last month. It's crazy. There's so many awesome colorists doing their stuff and so many videos I want to watch. Where to find the time? At the end of this video, I'll also be showing you guys a slideshow of all the awesome pictures that got tagged for Beautiful Coloring 2025. So stick around for that and you guys can see all the awesomeness. So let me get all of this out of the way and then I'll show you guys what I colored for the month. I'm trying to get them in order, okay? Don't know if I did. So the first book I worked out of this month was A Cute Fantasy Adventure by Little Nook. And before I can show you guys the page in the meantime, I did this page. I am not going to tell you every time who I tagged for which hashtags because there were so many. I will include everybody's Instagram pages in the description box. And if you'd like to see specifically who I tagged for which image, you can just go check out my Instagram page where I have added all my finished pages and everybody that I've tagged and for what I've tagged them. But this image I did as a buddy color with my son, and I decided to turn this badger into a zombie badger that's going after this magical sword in the stone. Let me just get my other book that I have for telling you guys what I used on the page. So yes, this guy I finished on the 2nd of October. I'll quickly show you what my son's page looked like. He did it like this with lots of greens and browns. Very cool. He used January alcohol markers on this page. And he used some of my green pencil for a little bit of glows around the stars. He went for green magical stars. And then on mine, I used also my January alcohol markers for basing and for all the usual shadows. And then I used my Languo acrylic markers for all my highlights, all the highlights. And then I also had my white Sakura jelly roll for the borders around the stars. I just wanted to make them look more bright. And I had a white Prismacolor pencil for my glows around my stars. And because I only have a white, I used a normal yellow Brute Funa pencil over the white to make the glow look yellow instead of white. So that is everything that I have on this page, or that I used on this page. And let's go on to the next one. Okay. The next book that I worked out of this month, just trying to get my angle right, man. Midnight Masquerade by Hannah Coulson. And for this book, I need to find it. It wasn't that one. The second page that I finished in this book. Still in shot. I'm calling her the creepy Kegel. Since the first time I saw this page, she just freaked me out with this key sticking out of her back. And I decided I would go and really work into that creep factor that I found in this picture. There is another lady online that does makeup. It is makeup. Just trying to think now, there has to be a proper word for it. But yes, she does crazy makeup. And I used one of her looks as inspiration for this page. I also, the only other page that I've colored in this book, I've also done based on one of her looks that she has created. So I have a feeling that's going to be a long running thing in this book when I come back to faces to use her stuff as inspiration. I'm pretty sure I did write down her name. Did I? No, I didn't. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, so I quickly checked. She is on Instagram, and I will obviously tag her below as well, at illuminarty, at illumin_arty. And what was so cool, and I really fangirled, I tagged her in this when I posted this page, and she replied, wow. So that was cool. Let me tell you guys. Oh, before I tell you what I used on the page, or let me quickly tell you what I used on the page. What I did use on this page was not generally alcohol markers, definitely not. I used my Britfuna 180 pencils for all of the little bits of pencil work that I did have. And then I also used my Languo acrylic markers, and that was all over the show for all these little details and the ribbons and all of these stuff that I brought in and on her face. That was all with my Languo acrylic markers. And then I also had the Languo gel pens. Oh yes, that was definitely for these little details on her face. I used my Languo gel pens because the markers would definitely not fit into all those tiny little spaces. And then for my background, I call them fake distress inks because I really don't know what they are, but feels like I'm not centered here. That is what I used on the background. I still haven't learned that I can mask it off, because I actually think it would have been cool if I just made a border like this, where her body and the bow would then go out of the border. It would have made this not a problem, because this is not now neat at all, and I did go over a little bit. Although I had some masking tape, yeah, it still went over it. Cool. So then the important part to this picture is I did a body color with Vera Art. I will put her page on the screen now. I loved what she did with her page. She still kept it creepy, but I really enjoyed. I was trying to remember, because this was now so long ago in the month, but I remember now she had this awesome patchwork background that she did. I really loved the colors that she went for, and the shading and all of it. It was very cool. Thank you, Vera, for buddying up with me on this creepy Kegel. Cool. So that was my page in Tales of the Midnight Masquerade by Hannah Carlson. The next book that I worked out of was A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. And this page I enjoyed a lot. I finished this on the 7th of October. This was a body color with Jody from JI Colorist. I'll add her awesome picture onto the screen now. Let's mix it up a little bit. So Jody finished hers way before I finished mine, and she shared it with me, and I really loved what she did with her page, and apparently so much so that her color palette stuck in my mind quite thoroughly, so that when it was time for me to decide which color palette to use for this page, and I went onto the color palette that Zoe has shared with us on her page, Zoe Cozy Coloring, I picked the same palette basically that Jody used on her page, because it was so cool. So I really like what she did with hers, adding the washi, the Halloween washi. Very, very cool. Thank you for a very enjoyable buddy, Jody. We'll definitely do it again. Even with you, Vera. Everybody that I'm mentioning in this video, I am not used to doing body colors. I keep on posting my stuff before everybody is done with theirs, and I promise that I will stop doing that. But let me quickly tell you guys what I used on this page. I only used my Britfuna pencils for the cats, and then I was using my Languo acrylic markers basically for everything else. On the ghosties, I also have the Languo acrylic markers, and then I used a damp brush to bring out the colors a bit so that they look a bit see-through, right? That's the word I'm looking for. And then I use the Languo shiny style plus pens for all the little bits of bling on the page. you can't really see because I don't know how to turn this book still. And then on my background I used soft chalk pastels and I rubbed out circles and then added different colors of chalk pastel on there, and then I used a white Sakura jelly roll pen to make them look like shiny bubbles. Don't ask me the reasoning for that. It's probably a Halloween party with some shiny soap bubbles. I don't know. But I really enjoyed this page. It might be my favorite for the month. But that's difficult to say. I love all of them basically. So that was my picture from Million Little Monsters. I really wish that I could have gotten to more of them because I had quite a lot tagged in this book. But alas, I did that one and I'm happy with that one. The next book that I worked out of was this Polar Bear Adventure Cruise by Yuki Shiratori. And this was, I still need to take our tags out of this book. I did this one. And I'm hoping you guys can see what my theme was. I finished this one on the 12th of October 2025. And this was a buddy color with two lovely ladies. First one was Polly from Polly Put the Color On. And then we've got Kate from Kate Coloring Pages. I will add their pictures in here while I am talking about them. They did an awesome job on theirs. I love it. I love buddy coloring with them. I promise guys I will stop putting up my pages before everybody is finished. I was just too excited for my hashtag this month. But I really enjoyed doing this page with you guys. Loved seeing, I mean, now we're 3 different people and we got 3 different outcomes on this page and they were all cool. I really enjoyed it. So like you guys can see, and I hope you can see it, my theme for this page was Wicked, although I have not seen the first movie yet and we're already on to the second one almost. So I definitely will be watching that because I saw this page and I immediately thought for myself, this is going to be Wicked. So we've got our pink side and our green side. And I'm trying to think hard. It's Glinda and Alphaba, right? You can definitely see I have not watched this movie. And then it was my daughter's idea to bring the rest of our characters into it, to make her look like the, oh my gosh, the Tin Man. All right, and then we have the brave lion over here. You see, I don't even know what these characters' names are, but that's the characters that they were supposed to be. And then we have the Emerald City there in the back, and it's not really glowing, but it's there. Yes, let me rather go straight into telling you guys what I used on this page. Okay, so this is a lot of pencil work, and for all the pencil work, obviously, I used my Rootfuna pencils. I also, what else did I use? White Sakura Jelly Roll. What did I use? That was probably for the outlines on the clouds that I used, the Jelly Roll, yes. And then I have as well my Languo acrylic markers. What did I use that on? Oh my gosh. What did I use Languo acrylic markers on? I can see a lot of Guangna Super Golden markers. The gold and silver. That's what I use that for. I'm struggling to see what I use those acrylic markers for. I really don't know. Maybe it was the outlines of the 2 ghosties because I can see I used the pink and I used the green. So that's probably what I did over there. Yes, that is probably what I did over there. What else did I have on this page? White Prismacolor pencil. I'm assuming that was here around, sorry, this is not me trying to see what I did, but I'm assuming it was for the glows around the stars, and then I added back green pencil over on top, because like I said, I only have a white, and okay, I definitely used it here for the glow around the lantern over here. And oh yes, I do have one Derwent Chroma Flow pencil, and it's an ultra pink, and I got it as a gift from one of the local companies with one of my orders, and I used that in this dark purple here for the sky, and then I just went back into a Brifuno pencil, and oh my gosh, that was such a nice pencil to use. Cool. So that was what I did for this page, and I tried to make this a yellow brick road, and only after I finished coloring it I realized the perspective of this road does not make sense, but hey, it is there, it is done, and I enjoyed this page a lot, and I enjoy doing the buddy color with you guys, with Kate and with Polly. We'll definitely do this again. This was also the first page that I did in this book, so I'm very glad that this book is now no longer untouched. I have a tag there that now ran away. So that was the Polar Bear Adventure Cruise. Let me just put back my little page there, my protective page. Cool. Then the next page that I did was a PDF that I printed. Let me tell you guys where this is from. This is from Mystical World by Coco Wayo. I finished this page on the 14th of October. This was one of Elm Colors palettes that she had going on her Instagram page with a different Halloween palette challenge. So I just used that, one of those. I can't remember what she gave them cute names. I think this was Happy Pumpkins, if I remember correctly, was this color palette's name. And I used, as always, my Genru alcohol markers. I almost said my Brifuno alcohol markers. I don't think there exists a thing like that. I used my Genru alcohol markers for basing. And sorry if I sound lost. I've got these things written down, and then my eyes dart to the wrong page, and then I get confused, and it feels like I waste time, and it feels like I ramble. But it's January alcohol markers, yes, and I have Langio gel pens. Oh my goodness, trying to remember where I used them. Oh, I blacked out all of the lines, so all of the borders are Langio gel pens. Yes, that's definitely what I did. And then what I also did was with Guangna Super Golden markers, I added, so all the gold on the page would be with that. I love how that came out. Obviously, on the photo that I took, you won't see that at all. Then I also used my white Sakura jelly roll for all the white highlights that I added on. Yeah, that was quite a quick page. I didn't do any actual shading. It was only the highlights and then adding in all those lines. But the whiting out the lines, that took a while. Yes, so that was my page from, like I said, from, oh my goodness, Mystical World by Coco Wayo. The next page that I did this month, and I actually think this was my favorite page for the month. I made this the background on my phone, so I'm assuming this was my favorite page for the month. This was, I'm calling her the Pumpkin Girl from, and I should actually go check because usually Hannah Lynn tells us what the girls' names are. But this is from the Enchanted Halloween book from Hannah Lynn. And I finished her on the 18th of October 2025. This page definitely made me realize I need to learn different ways of adding black backgrounds. Because I started off using my Genru alcohol marker. It did run dry before I was done. Then I took out my, and I can't even remember, it was that Touch alcohol markers. I took out that black marker, and that also went dry before I was done. Then I took out the fake distress inks. That did not work. Because this isn't printer paper, it's some cardstocky, but it's quite smooth. So it's like there wasn't enough tooth for that fake distress inks to latch onto. So that didn't work. I think actually in the end, no, the touch alcohol marker was the last thing that I came in with, and then I managed to finish off with that. But I mean, like now when it's in this light, you can see where the streaks are. So I do believe I need to learn how to use black acrylic paint for backgrounds like this, because I know my alcohol markers aren't expensive, but my poor heart basically just sank when this happened. But okay, be that as it may, I did all of the basing on this page with Chenrui alcohol markers, and then I used Rufuna pencils for all of the shading that I've added. And then my clouds outlines was with Languo gel pens. Yes, they were. And then all of the, I said highlights. Which highlights am I talking about? Oh, all these white, because my Sakura Jelly Roll pen didn't really want to take that nicely on my pencils over here. So this was my white Languo acrylic marker that I used for all the highlights and for the stars. And then for the outline, for all the glowy parts, I used my white Prismacolor pencil. And then, yes, for even the glow around the moon, I used it. What else did I use? A Guangna Super Golden marker for this orange border that I have over here. So yes, I really, this page was quite quick. I love doing this. I do believe she was my favorite for the month. Cool. So like I said, 18th of October that I finished her. So the next page that I did, and I need to remember now what I said because I was recording this whole piece without my mic working, was from Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlson. And the page that I chose here was this witchy page. I enjoyed doing this page a lot. This page was specifically chosen because of the hashtag that Joe did over at Piggy Pens. And the hashtag that she did for us was called Piggy's Halloween Color Along. And what she did was she did a series of 6 videos on YouTube, and I'll link all of her stuff below, where she basically shows us how her whole thought process works, where from choosing the stuff that she's going to use for the background, and then for the rest of the elements and all of the highlights and all of the pretty stuff. And so I was doing this page whilst I was watching those videos of hers, and I was also trying to stick to the color palette that she's given us. So this was very enjoyable to do, and I also enjoyed looking at everybody else's pictures that they did for this hashtag, because she added all of her stuff into a video after the hashtag was done. So that was very cool. Let me tell you guys what I used on my page. For all the pencil work, I used my Brute Funa pencils. I also used my white Prismacolor pencil for a lot of the blending on the hat and her clothes and the cat, as well as all the shiny bits on her hair. And then I used my Sakura Pigma fine liner to draw in the spider webs and the wonky bats, and I colored them in with a Guangna acrylic marker. Also used the Guangna acrylic markers here on the white magic sparkles that I have. I didn't use any shinies on this page. Did I say I used soft pastel for the background? That's why I keep on looking at my hands, because I didn't fix this. I've only fixed one page before, and I used too much fixative and it bled through the page behind it, so I'm a bit scared. I think I've mentioned this before, so I need to try that again. Yeah, I enjoyed doing this page a lot. I finished it up on the 25th of October, and I am going to show you Joe's page as well. And if you want to see everybody else's cool pages, you can go and watch that over in her video on her channel. Like I said, I will link her stuff below. And that was then my page in Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlson. Then the next 2 pages. Okay, let's let's leave them for last. These 2 pages in Small Victories by Joanna Basford, I finished on the 31st of October, so they were just in time to be actually for when they were supposed to be. So my plan originally was to only do this page. This was also for a hashtag. Let me quickly, I can at least tell you guys with who, for which hashtag, because it was something very specific. It was for Colorful Small Victories 25 by Colorful Diary 2018. And then, so I really wanted to do this page, but I also wanted to mix it up with one of the other hashtags that was going on. So Jamie from Finding Joy in Color, her Coloring the Movies 2025 for October was Beetlejuice. So I used the color palette that she had given us for Beetlejuice, and I added in the spider webs and the little spider over on this side, and then I decided I'm going to bring those colors across to this page, everything except the blue. I did not know what color to use for this teapot and the teacups, and my daughter made the suggestion of bringing in this pretty blue. And the plan was then actually to use the pretty blue on some of the cupcake toppings, and I completely forgot. So they were supposed to tie in together like that, and now they don't. But still, I added my spider webs over here and a little spider over here. So hopefully, and with all the other colors, they do still look coherent, because I do like opening up a book to pages like this where they look like they belong together. And this is definitely the first time that I've done both of the pages in one go. Let me just quickly open up my book again. I should really remember what I use on the pages so that this isn't necessary. So I used a lot of my Languo gel pens for everything on these pages. All of the cupcake toppings is Languo gel pens. The cupcake wrappers I used with colored in with Guangna Super Golden markers. The spider webs I added in with a Sakura Pigma fine liner. All the glittery stuff that I have on the cupcakes, except for the wrappers, are all the Languo shiny style pens. And then over on this side, I've used all of the same stuff, except for the backgrounds on the teacups and the teapot. I used my Brute Funa pencils, because I didn't really want to completely just do them with gel pen, because to me it was just big spaces and it wouldn't have looked nice. I don't think it would have. But yeah, so that was technically 2 fairly quick pages. I did them really mostly at the same time. Yes, I did. And I enjoyed them very much. So that was from Small Victories by Joanna Basford. Then I do need to go and look at supper before I show you guys the last 2 pages. I'll be right back. And I'm back. So the last 2 pages that I completed for October was 2 advent calendars, and I was working on them throughout the month, but I couldn't always get to every little advent piece every day, so I would do like 2 or 3 a day. And because I was busy with the 2 small victory pages on the 31st, I only finished the 2 advent calendars on the 1st of November. But I'm looking for the English word. What is the English word? I do not. Oh my goodness. I dated them the 31st of October. I can't find the English word now to say that I did not. Oh my goodness. It doesn't even want to come out. Point being, I dated them the 31st of October and not the 1st of November, because I wasn't going to make them be part of my coloring, my finished pages for the 1st of November, for November. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this first one that I did was from Southern Lotus, and they had this available on their Instagram page. And yeah, I downloaded and I printed it, and I decided, because I had those pens out for the Zombie Badger, for that Amanda Kalish palette, I decided to only stick to those colors for this whole page. So I had those markers here in a little tubby thing the whole month next to me, and I just used them every few days to do this page. And everything that I used on here, obviously, Languo gel pens. Yes, I did use Languo gel pens, but let's start with the January alcohol markers that I used as base for everything. And then I have the January, I have that, the Languo gel pens, Languo acrylic markers. I have the Guangnao Super Golden markers, and I use the Guangnao White acrylic marker, the Languo Shiny Plus pens, Sakura Pigma Fine Liner. No, that was on the other page that I used that, or maybe I used a little bit of it here to add some of those black lines a bit more, because my printer doesn't always play very nicely with me. Yes, that is basically everything that I used on this page. I enjoyed this a lot. I mean, at the end of the day, you have a whole colored page. Now that this is a very big page, let me show you guys a big page. This is a big page. Okay, now I don't have to zoom out. So, this lovely lady I found, and I don't know how I found her. Maybe she found me. I don't know. But this is also a lady on Instagram, and she does sell her stuff on Etsy, where you can go find her PDFs as well. Her name is Alexandra. Yes, her name is Alexandra, and her handle is @fulfill_works. I'll obviously add that in the description box below as well. And I really, really like her style of drawing. I really enjoy it. And to have this monster for every day, a different monster, and then they are all going to her monster party at the end of the month. And I used all the same goodies that I have on the other page, again with Amanda's color palette that I used. I really love them. And at first I said this little alien dude with his Spock, live long and prosper, was my favorite. Do you see my hand? There's my hand. He was my favorite until I colored in the zombie corn, and I really do think that she is my favorite now. This was just very enjoyable to do. And I tried not to focus on the other pictures that I haven't done. So I basically zoned out. If I was busy with the picture on the 12th, I would only be looking at the picture on the 12th, for the 12th. I wouldn't be looking ahead to see what the other ones were, even though they were all here for me to look at. And so that was also very enjoyable, just to be looking at these cute monsters by themselves every day. I hope I'm making sense. So yes, @fulfill_works, Alexandra. This was really enjoyable, and I think she has a Christmas advent calendar type thing also going on. So I will definitely be looking at that in December. So those were my last pages for October. I really enjoyed going onto Instagram every day and looking at everybody's pictures that they tag for Beautiful Coloring 2025. I enjoyed going and adding them onto my story and my highlights. And then I also started trying to add little GIFs at the bottom of each person's picture that portrayed or went with that picture. I tried my best. That was enjoyable for me to do every day. And that is what I'm going to be showing you guys in the rest of this video. Like I said, a slideshow of everybody's awesome pages. I hope that we can do this again next year. And yeah, you guys must enjoy your day and enjoy your coloring. And I will see you on the next one. Bye for now. Bye.